After waking up in the morning, have you ever found yourself sitting on the edge of your bed for a long time, attempting to muster the strength to get up and move around? It seems as though your legs are a little less strong than they were a month ago. When you lift your arms, you have to exert a little bit more effort. The reason you walk a little more slowly than usual is not because you are experiencing pain. Rather, it's because your body doesn't feel as powerful as it used to. If you've recognized this feeling, know that you are not alone. The gradual loss of muscle strength that occurs after the age of 60 is a fully natural and expected phenomenon. Many people are unaware of the fact that sarcopenia, which is a condition that refers to the loss of muscle mass, is not solely caused by the aging process. On the other hand, it is heavily influenced by the things we do or do not do to support our bodies as we grow older. I'm about to tell you something that might take you by surprise. Your muscles do not simply become stronger as a result of the physical activities you perform during the day. In fact, during the time when you are asleep, your body is actually performing the most critical task of all. This is a time when it works to rebuild, mend, and regenerate your muscle tissue. However, this remarkable healing and strengthening process will only occur if your body is given the appropriate building blocks to work with. And those building blocks don't come from just any food. They come from calm, nourishing nighttime foods that work silently as you sleep. If you want to construct something strong and resilient, you need to give your body the proper nutrition to do so, especially at night. So, one tranquil night at a time, I'm going to guide you through the process of consuming 4 potent natural foods before going to bed. These foods have the power to assist you in preventing muscle loss, restoring your strength, and waking up feeling more confident in your body. The final food, which is just 1 tablespoon before bedtime, may surprise you with the powerful effect it can have on your muscles. So continue watching until the very end. And while you're here, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comment section if you're interested in learning about simple, easy strategies to maintain your strength while you sleep. Now let me ask, are you familiar with the experience of eating a snack before bed that truly made you feel better when you woke up? It would be quite interesting to hear about your experience. Let's begin today with a very simple fruit, the kiwi. This fruit is mild green, fuzzy on the outside, and sweet and tangy on the inside. You might think of kiwi as a refreshing summer snack or something you'd toss into a fruit salad. But this small fruit is a silent hero when it comes to sleep and recovery, especially when consumed at night. And this is something most people don't know. Let me share a story with you. During a recent conversation over tea, I spoke with a man named George. He was 74 years old, widowed, and retired from teaching. George shared something personal with me. He said, "I don't actually sleep through the night anymore. When I wake up, it feels like my body has been holding on to stress. I feel stiff and tired." Now, he wasn't in pain exactly. It was more of a deep fatigue, as if the body itself was exhausted. He noticed that his legs didn't feel as stable as they used to. That effortless strength he once took for granted in his arms, gone. And in his mind, that was just part growing older. So I asked George to make just one small change. Every night, about an hour before bed, he would eat 2 kiwis. Just 2. And he did this for 2 weeks. That's it. No other changes. The difference was subtle but significant. George began falling asleep faster than he had in years. But more than that, he started waking up feeling lighter, more rested, and more mobile. He even laughed and said, "I no longer creak like an old chair when I wake up." He told me, "I feel like my legs are mine again." So what is it about the kiwi that makes it so unique? Kiwi is one of the very few fruits that naturally contains melatonin, the hormone that tells your brain it's time to sleep. But unlike taking a pill, kiwi is a gentle, food-based source of melatonin that your body can naturally absorb and use effectively. Research has even shown that eating kiwi before bed improves both sleep quality and sleep duration, especially in older adults. And that's just the beginning. Here's where it gets even more exciting. It is during the deeper, more restful stages of sleep that your body does a majority of its muscle repair and regeneration. This is when your tissues are restored, your hormones are rebalanced, and your strength begins to return, all while you are dreaming. But here's the catch. Your body can only reach these deeper sleep stages if your sleep quality is truly good. And that's where kiwi comes in. It helps unlock the door to that restful, healing sleep. But kiwi isn't just about melatonin. It's also an excellent source of antioxidants, including vitamin C and vitamin E. Why is that important? Because as we age, our muscles become more vulnerable to inflammation and oxidative damage from the environment. That's what causes that soreness, stiffness, and general sense of being slowed down. Antioxidants help counteract that. They give your muscle cells the ability to focus on recovery instead of just repair. So with something as simple as 2 kiwis before bed, you're not only improving your sleep, you're giving your body the support it needs to feel strong again. And that's only the first of 4 foods. There's more to come. These foods are simple, natural, and easy to include in your routine, but their impact can be deeply powerful, especially when used regularly. Just like George experienced, these small changes have the potential to make a big difference in your life. So stay tuned as we continue to explore more gentle, nourishing nighttime foods that support your strength and well-being. One bite at a time, one night at a time, you can reclaim the energy and confidence you deserve. Kiwi fruit does more than just taste good. It plays a quiet but powerful role in healing and recovery. Its nutrients help repair damage inside the body, making it an excellent choice for anyone looking to support their health naturally. One of its most impressive benefits is that it's an excellent source of potassium. Potassium is essential for the normal contraction of muscles, and it plays a vital role in preventing those painful leg cramps that can wake you up in the middle of the night. If you've ever been jolted awake at 3 a.m. by a sharp cramp in your leg, you know just how important this little fruit can be. But we're just getting started. Kiwi fruit holds a special place in the hearts of many senior citizens for a good reason. It's simple to digest and won't spike your blood sugar levels. Even though it has a naturally sweet taste, kiwi has a low glycemic index. That means it's a safe option for people managing diabetes or keeping a close eye on their insulin levels. On top of that, kiwi is naturally low in sodium, making it a heart-healthy choice for anyone dealing with high blood pressure. So, what's the best way to enjoy kiwi for maximum benefit? The recommendation is to peel and eat 2 ripe kiwis about an hour before going to bed. This little bedtime habit might seem small, but it has a calming effect, especially if paired with something soothing like a relaxing book or soft music. It's a gentle signal to your body that it's time to wind down and prepare for rest and recovery. While kiwi is generally well tolerated, it's always important to pay attention to how your body reacts. If you have sensitivity to fruit acids or existing digestive concerns, you might experience a mild stomach upset. But for most people, kiwi is mild, calming, and very easy on the stomach. In fact, it can even be described as soothing. Kiwi offers a gentle way to drift into deeper sleep while supporting your body's recovery processes. That's the quiet power of kiwi. But now, let's shift to something more familiar. Something traditional that almost all of us have enjoyed at one point or another: eggs. Whether it was a simple breakfast with toast or a cherished recipe handed down through the family, eggs have always had a place at the table. But here's where things take an interesting turn. Eggs before bed. That might sound unusual at first, because we normally associate eggs with breakfast. But eating an egg before bedtime can offer unique benefits, especially for those over the age of 60. If your goal is to maintain strength, balance, and muscle tone as you sleep, then having an egg in the evening might be exactly what your body needs. The magic of eggs doesn't just come from their high protein content, although that's a big part of it. Eggs contain all 9 essential amino acids your muscles need to grow, heal, and rebuild. This makes eggs what nutritionists call a complete protein. And among those amino acids, one in particular stands out: leucine. Leucine is a key amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to build and repair muscle tissue. So, when you eat eggs, you're sending your body a clear signal. It's time to repair and strengthen. That becomes especially important as we age. The older we get, the less sensitive our bodies become to small amounts of protein. For example, a 25-year-old might build muscle from a small serving of chicken, but someone over 60 often needs more high-quality protein, particularly protein rich in leucine, to see the same benefits. This is where eggs truly shine. A single large egg contains around 6 grams of protein and between 500 to 600 milligrams of leucine. That's enough to make a meaningful impact on overnight muscle repair. Having a soft-boiled egg about an hour before bed could be the missing piece in your evening routine, especially if you tend to eat lightly at night or your dinner didn't include much protein. But the benefits of eggs don't stop at muscle support. Eggs are also a great source of vitamin D, a nutrient that many older adults lack, especially those who spend limited time outdoors. Vitamin D plays a role far beyond bone health. It also supports muscle function and coordination. When you combine that with the choline found in eggs, you're getting nutrients that benefit your brain and nervous system too. Choline supports cognitive function, memory, and communication between nerves and muscles. So now you have a food that not only helps your body move better, but also think and react with more clarity. Of course, at this point, you might be wondering about cholesterol. That's a valid concern, especially since eggs have long been viewed with suspicion in that regard. But the latest scientific research has turned that old idea on its head. For most people, eating eggs in moderation, about 1 egg per day, does not raise the risk of heart disease. In fact, some studies show that eggs may even improve your cholesterol profile by increasing levels of HDL, the good cholesterol. So unless your doctor has told you otherwise, eggs can be a safe and extremely beneficial part of your diet. But preparation matters. The way you cook your eggs can make a big difference. Gently cooked eggs, such as poached, soft-boiled, or scrambled in a bit of olive oil, are easy to digest and retain more of their nutrients. On the other hand, frying eggs in butter or adding too much salt could irritate your stomach or raise your blood pressure. So, it's best to keep things simple and clean. By including eggs in your bedtime routine, you're not just giving your body protein. You're feeding your muscles, supporting your nerves, and setting yourself up for a night of healing sleep. Whether it's kiwi fruit or a softly cooked egg, sometimes the most powerful changes come from the simplest foods. These natural choices help your body rest, recover, and stay strong, one night at a time. A soft egg is one of the easiest proteins to consume, and it's a perfect choice for people who have difficulty chewing. There's no need to strain your jaw or bite down hard. Let me illustrate this with a real-world story. After attending a wellness program, I became acquainted with a woman named Lean. She's 68 years old, always smiling, and she has this charming habit of bringing fruit for everyone she meets. Despite her cheerful attitude, Lean had been suffering from a sense of weakness every morning for years. She once told me, "When I get out of bed, my legs wobble like cooked noodles." For the longest time, she believed that avoiding snacks after sunset would help her sleep better. As a result, she often didn't eat dinner at all, or if she did, it was very late. Her routine left her body without the fuel it needed at night. We decided to make a small change. We added a single poached egg to her evening routine. Not a full meal, but a warm, gentle snack before bed. It wasn't heavy, but it offered just enough to support her body. After just 2 weeks, Lean told me something that stood out. "Although I didn't expect it to make a difference," she said, "I no longer feel as shaky in the morning. My state of mind feels more stable too." That's the power of giving your body the right kind of protein before bedtime. It doesn't take a heavy dinner to nourish you at night. What's important is giving your muscles the proper fuel they need to heal and rebuild while you're resting. Your body takes care of the work. All you need to do is give it the right resources. Now, let's shift our focus to something you might not expect. It's small enough to hold in your hand and so easy to overlook that you might forget it in a jar at the back of your cabinet. But don't be fooled by its size. This little ingredient can have a surprisingly big impact on your muscles, your sleep, and your overnight recovery. I'm talking about pumpkin seeds. Yes, those tiny green seeds, also known as pepitas, that you often see sprinkled on salads or blended into granola. But pumpkin seeds are far more powerful than their size suggests. To help explain, let me tell you about Harold. He's a 72-year-old retired gardener. Even now, his hands still look like they've been shaped by years of working with soil. He came to me with concern that many older adults share. Every morning, he said, "My legs feel tight. I move around and try to get going, but it always feels like I didn't get enough rest." We dug a little deeper and found that magnesium was missing from his evening routine. His meals were fine during the day, but at night, he wasn't getting enough of this essential mineral. Magnesium is incredibly important. It's a mineral that helps your muscles relax. Without enough of it, your muscles might remain partially tense even while you're asleep. So even after a full 8 hours of rest, you can still wake up feeling sore and stiff. That's where pumpkin seeds come in. They're one of the best natural sources of magnesium available. Just 1 ounce, about a small handful, gives you around 37% of your daily magnesium needs. That's a big return from such a small snack. When you eat pumpkin seeds in the evening, you're not just relaxing your mind. You're physically helping your body unwind and let go of built-up tension. But magnesium isn't the only benefit these seeds offer. Pumpkin seeds also contain tryptophan, an amino acid your body uses to produce serotonin, and then melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate your sleep. When you combine tryptophan with magnesium, you create a powerful 1-2 punch that helps your body rest deeply. Tryptophan on its own doesn't induce sleep disorders, but when it's part of a well-balanced nighttime routine, it supports better, deeper sleep. And deeper sleep leads to more growth hormone production, more cellular repair, and more muscle rebuilding while you sleep. So while you're tucked under your blanket at night, these seeds are working behind the scenes. With about 7 grams of plant-based protein per ounce, pumpkin seeds offer more than just minerals. They also contain healthy fats that slow down digestion, allowing for a steady, gradual release of amino acids throughout the night. This means your body doesn't experience a sudden spike and crash in nutrients. Instead, it enjoys a smooth, sustained supply of building blocks that help your muscles recover and grow stronger, something older bodies especially need. You may be wondering how to include pumpkin seeds in your nighttime routine. The answer is simple. Keep it light. A tablespoon or 2 is plenty. You can eat them plain, or, if you want to enhance the protein content, sprinkle them over a small serving of plain Greek yogurt. This not only adds texture and flavor, but also increases the nutritional value of your snack. Greek yogurt has its own benefits, including additional protein and probiotics that support digestion. It's all about making smart, gentle changes to support your body as it ages. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet or load up on large meals at night. Sometimes it's the small, consistent habits that make the biggest difference. Whether it's a soft poached egg or a spoonful of pumpkin seeds, the goal is to give your body what it needs to rest well and rebuild overnight. When you wake up the next day, you'll feel the difference, not just in your energy levels, but in your strength and stability too. The changes are subtle at first, but over time, they add up in meaningful ways. Some people use a skillet to warm them up slightly, but you don't need to do that. Simply avoid adding any salt to them. This is especially important if you're trying to manage high blood pressure, because consuming sodium late at night isn't helpful for blood pressure regulation. What's interesting is that these little seeds are packed with a significant amount of zinc. Zinc plays a critical role in repairing cells, strengthening the immune system, and maintaining hormonal balance. This becomes even more important for men over the age of 60 who want to keep their testosterone levels in a healthy range, since testosterone is closely linked to muscle mass. It's quite amazing that all of these benefits come from just a single seed. Nature truly doesn't waste space when it comes to nutritional power. Like many other seeds and nuts, pumpkin seeds are high in calories. That's a small cautionary note. It doesn't mean they're bad for you, but it does mean you should be mindful of portion sizes, especially if you're snacking on them late at night. Eating them by the handful might not be the best idea. Instead, try to stick to a small portion, rather than treating them like a casual snack. Think of them more as a nighttime tonic, something that quietly supports your muscles and helps your body get the most out of your rest. This naturally brings us to one last food, one that might not look exciting, but is incredibly powerful. It's not sweet like fruit or crunchy like seeds. It's not colorful, flashy, or the kind of thing you'd see in a trendy health food ad. But cottage cheese, believe it or not, is one of the best foods you can eat before bed if you want to support muscle recovery and growth, especially as you get older. Don't be too quick to wrinkle your nose or dismiss it as something only your grandma used to eat, because despite its simple and somewhat lumpy appearance, cottage cheese holds a secret that makes it a nighttime powerhouse for muscle health. Let's take a closer look at why cottage cheese is so effective. Inside it, you'll find a special type of protein called casein. Casein is not the same as the fast-digesting proteins found in fish, chicken, or even eggs. Instead, it digests very slowly. That's a good thing, because it means your body gets a steady release of amino acids over many hours, including while you're asleep. Amino acids, as you may know, are the essential building blocks of muscle. And while you're asleep, your body enters a natural repair mode. It works to heal tissue, rebuild muscle, and restore balance. But here's the thing. If there aren't enough amino acids in your bloodstream during the night, your body may actually start breaking down muscle to fuel itself. That's the last thing you want, especially if you're already experiencing a natural muscle loss that tends to come with age. That's why giving your body a slow, steady stream of amino acids through a food like cottage cheese is so helpful. Just a few spoonfuls before bed can make a real difference in how your muscles are maintained and repaired overnight. It's not just effective, it's also gentle. Cottage cheese doesn't spike your blood sugar, and it doesn't leave you feeling overly full or heavy. It simply goes to work in the background while you rest, silently supporting your recovery after a long day or even after a workout. That slow-digesting protein keeps your body nourished while you sleep, helping you wake up feeling stronger and more stable. Let me share a quick story about my friend Martha. She's 76 years old and sharp as ever mentally, but she started noticing that her legs were getting weaker. Climbing stairs became harder, and even getting out of the car started to feel like a challenge. Her doctor told her it was just part of getting older, but she wasn't ready to accept that as a final answer. So, we made one small change. She started eating a small bowl of low-fat cottage cheese every night, just a few spoonfuls about 30 minutes before bed. That was it. Within 3 weeks, she told me something had changed. She felt like her body had finally started to catch up. She woke up with more energy and felt more steady on her feet. Her muscles felt like they had more life in them. This is what happens when your body finally gets what it's been needing. That small habit gave her a big return. And there's more to the story. Cottage cheese contained a high amount of leucine, which is the same amino acid responsible for triggering muscle growth. You may have heard of leucine in the context of eggs or protein supplements, but what makes cottage cheese different is how slowly it releases that leucine into your system. Eggs give you a quick boost, which is great in the morning or after a workout. But when it comes to supporting your body throughout the night, cottage cheese acts more like a steady hand that holds you all the way until morning. And if you're someone who keeps an eye on your blood sugar levels, here's even better news. Low-fat cottage cheese is naturally low in carbohydrates. That means you won't experience any late-night sugar spikes or crashes, and it won't interfere with your sleep. Instead, it works quietly and efficiently, feeding your muscles while you rest and preparing you to face the next day with more strength. So while it may not be the flashiest food in your kitchen, cottage cheese deserves a lot more respect than it usually gets. Especially as you get older, it can play a major role in maintaining your strength, supporting your recovery, and helping you feel more stable and energized. It's not about making huge changes or trying the latest trends. It's about giving your body what it needs, when it needs it. A small bowl of cottage cheese before bed could be one of the simplest, most effective things you do for your health. It doesn't take hours, nor will it interfere with your insulin levels. People who have diabetes or prediabetes may benefit from this simple protein because it has the potential to help regulate blood sugar levels throughout the night. That's a powerful benefit coming from such a small choice. If you're watching your salt intake, consider selecting the low-sodium option. There are plenty available today. You can usually find them without much trouble. And if you're someone who's also concerned about heart health, then it's wise to choose cottage cheese that's low in fat or has just 1% fat content. This can help you limit the amount of saturated fat you're consuming, making it a heart-friendly option. Now, let's talk about the flavor and the texture. In its natural state, cottage cheese is something some people absolutely love. It has a creamy, slightly tangy taste with mild flavor that pairs easily with both sweet and savory items. For others, the texture may take a little getting used to, but the good news is you can make it your own. Some like to enjoy it plain, while others prefer to combine it with something that adds a touch of sweetness or spice. A few slices of banana a handful of blueberries, or even a simple tablespoon of cinnamon can turn it into a treat. If you got a kiwi lying around from earlier in the day, slice it up and mix it in. It adds a fresh, tropical burst that works surprisingly well. The most important thing is to keep things light and uncomplicated. You're not looking to create a whole meal. You're simply sending your body a small signal, a message of care and intention. This isn't about filling up your plate. This isn't dinner. What you require is something different, just enough to give your body the support it needs through the night. Please take your time with this process. No rush. This is something your body will repair with while you're asleep. That's the beauty of it. 1 tablespoon is often all that's needed to begin making a difference. 1 small scoop can serve as a gentle push in the right direction. Indeed, I do believe in the power of these small actions. And now let me tell you about the true beauty of this routine. There's no preparation required. No cooking, no chopping, no mixing, and certainly no stress. You don't need to stand over a hot stove or drag out the blender to whip up a smoothie. You don't even need a knife. All you have to do is open a container, grab a spoon, and start nourishing your body with intention and care. It's as quiet and simple as lighting a candle or folding a blanket. And yet it means so much more. You see, many older adults believe that in order to regain their strength, they need to go all in, that they must take on intense workouts, rigid diets, or expensive supplements. But that's not entirely true. The reality is that real strength, especially after the age of 60, comes from small, consistent habits. It comes from knowing what to give your body and when to give it. It comes from learning how to listen. It's not about the scale or the mirror. It's about how you feel when you wake up in the morning, how you carry yourself, how well you sleep. That's where the difference lives. And consuming a small amount of cottage cheese before going to bed, it may seem like a tiny thing, but it's like a comforting embrace for your muscles. It gently supports your body's needs as it enters its natural healing phase during sleep. You're not only nourishing your body, you're also giving it a sense of safety and support. It's a signal that says, you matter. Now that we've taken this journey together, along this peaceful nighttime path, let's pause for a moment and take a deep breath. Inhale slowly. Let your shoulders relax. There is no need for you to completely overhaul your lifestyle overnight. You don't need to chase perfection. You don't have to track every single calorie or obsess over the numbers. The truth is, your body isn't asking for that. It's asking for care, for sustainability, for something it can rely on. Making a few thoughtful, consistent choices is far more powerful than making big changes you can't stick with. Especially after 60, your body thrives on gentle rhythms and regularity. A choice as seemingly small as peeling a kiwi can be the one good thing you do for yourself tonight. Bringing an egg to a boil, enjoying a small scoop of cottage cheese, allowing a few pumpkin seeds to melt on your tongue. These things are more than bedtime snacks. They're quiet acts of self-respect. They're gifts you're offering to your future self. These small things do so much. They nourish your muscles. They ease tension in your nervous system. They contribute to better sleep, deeper, more restorative rest. And when you wake up, you'll feel more energy, more clarity, a sense of calm that didn't exist before. By choosing this calm and caring evening ritual, you are quietly reminding your body of something it desperately needs to hear. You are still important. You are still strong. You are still capable of putting things back together. That's not just a comforting idea, it's the truth. Muscle loss is not something that simply happens and can't be reversed. It's not a fixed outcome. You can slow it down. You can even rebuild what's been lost. But the process doesn't begin with noise or pressure. It begins with quiet, steady steps. Not aggressive change, but consistent nourishment. Not dramatic actions, but gentle ones. To begin, all you need to do is give your body what it's asking for. Not in a way that overwhelms or exhausts you, but in a way that speaks to you kindly, with love, with understanding, with patience. That's how healing starts. That's how strength returns, not all at once, but bit by bit, night after night, choice after choice. So tonight, when you head to bed, you can rest easy, not with the feeling that your strength is fading, but with the comforting knowledge that your body is quietly, gradually rebuilding itself. It's doing the work while you sleep. It's putting the pieces back together gently and patiently because you chose to care. You chose to support it. You chose to believe that small things matter, and they do. There's nothing flashy about this. No bright lights or fancy packaging. Just a spoon, a container, and a moment of calm. But that's more than enough. That's how you keep moving forward. That's how you keep your strength. That's how you remind yourself that you're still here and you're still capable of caring for the person you become. Encouraging, or if it provided you with some fresh ideas to experiment with, I would be absolutely delighted to hear from you. Your thoughts, your preferences, and your experiences mean a lot, not only to me, but to everyone who's part of our growing Health 365 family. Sharing your story could be just the inspiration someone else needs to take the next step toward better sleep, better nutrition, or simply a better night's rest. So, which foods are you most interested in trying before going to bed? Please let me know in the comments section below. Whether it's something you've been eating regularly or something you're curious to try for the first time, your input matters. Your tale, no matter how big or small, has the power to motivate someone else who may be struggling with sleep or looking to make healthier choices at night. And I do read every single comment. I love learning from your experiences and seeing the community engage with one another. Additionally, if you haven't already done so, please hit the like button on this video and consider subscribing to the Senior Health channel. By doing so, you're not just following a channel, you're becoming part of something meaningful. Something truly remarkable is being constructed right here, a space that goes beyond just health tips and becomes a source of connection, encouragement, and empowerment. We're creating an environment where getting older doesn't mean slowing down, but rather becoming wiser, stronger, and more connected with the world around you every single day. That's what this journey is about, celebrating the strength and wisdom that come with age, and supporting each other every step of the way. Until we meet again in the next video, I hope you get plenty of rest, eat well, and wake up feeling refreshed and more powerful than the day before. You have worked hard for this, your health, your happiness, your well-being. You've earned every bit of peace and strength coming your way. Keep going and keep taking care of yourself.